Good afternoon, classmates. The book I'm presenting is The Privilege of Youth by Dave Pelzer. This is a memoir of the continuation of Pelzer's life story after the events described in his earlier book, A Child Called It. In A Child Called It, Dave reveals the severe abuse he suffered as a young boy at the hands of his abusive and alcoholic mother. The abuse included physical violence, starvation, and emotional cruelty, which left deep scars in his childhood and shaped much of his earlier life. The Privilege of Youth picks up Dave's story during his teenage years and early adulthood. The setting is primarily in the United States during the 1970s and 1980s. After being removed from his abusive home and placed under foster care, Dave faces a new set of challenges. As a teenager, he struggles with his feelings of abandonment, low self-worth, and emotional trauma which lingers from his past. He must adapt to new schools and environments, then deal with the stigma of his history and learn how to trust others again. Despite those difficulties, Dave is determined to build a better life and heal from his past wounds. A passage I've chosen comes from a pivotal moment. I have it here now. Just before this exam, Dave is reflecting on the pain and fear that have haunted him for years. He now begins to understand that while his past is part of who he is, it does not have to control or define his future. This moment is the turning point where he finds a new sense of hope and inner strength. It marks the start of his new journey towards healing, self-acceptance, and freedom from trauma that once held him captive. I hope you enjoy. For years I carried the weight of my past like a heavy burden, one that seemed impossible to put down. The memories of pain and fear were always close, hunting me in quiet moments and threatening to pull me back into despair. I often wondered if I would ever be free from the shadows of what I had endured, or if those scars would follow me forever, shaping every part of my life. But slowly, something inside me began to change. I started to see that my past, as dark and painful as it was, did not have to be the whole story. I began to understand that while I could not erase what had happened, I could choose how I let it affect me. I could decide whether to be a prisoner of my history or to be the author of my future. It wasn't an easy realization. There were days when the pain felt overwhelming, when the fear and doubt threatened to take over. But amid the struggle, a small voice inside me grew stronger, a voice that whispered of hope, strength, and a possibility of healing. I realized then that my past did not have to define me. The scars I carried were a part of my story, but they did not have to be the end of it. Every day was a new chance to rewrite my future, to choose hope over despair. I knew it would not be easy. The road ahead was long and uncertain, but for the first time, I felt a spark of strength inside me, a quiet voice saying, "You can survive, you can thrive." That moment marked the beginning of my journey toward healing and freedom. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I chose this passage because it reveals a significant turning point in Dale Pelzer's life and character. It shows a moment of self-realization and hope that is both powerful and deeply moving. After years of suffering and trauma, Dave begins to understand that his past does not have to control his future. This shift from despair to hope is crucial because it marks the beginning of his healing journey. The language in this passage is powerful and poetic. Phrases like "the weight of my past" and "small voices inside me" and "a new chance to rewrite my future" evoke strong emotions and paints a vivid picture of Dave's internal struggle and growing strength. It is a moment that many people can relate to, as it speaks to the universal experience overcoming hardships and choosing hope. This passage also inspired strong emotional response in me. It reminded me that no matter how difficult life's challenges may be, we always have the ability to change our story and to find strength within ourselves. I believe our audience will find this passage meaningful because it offers encouragement and hope. It shows that survival is not just about enduring pain, but about learning to strive despite it. This message of resilience and self belief is inspiring and relevant to every one of us. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Amen.